Welcome boosters. We're going to take it down onto the mat for a short core sequence. All you're going to need for this one is a hand towel. Any hand towel will do. So just grab one of those and get yourself down onto the mat. Roll yourself down. Make sure your hips, your shoulders, your head is down. Stretch out. Hold that towel by the ends. Walk your feet a little closer to your hip. Tuck your tailbone and start by lifting your hips off the floor. Lengthening out of the hips. Soft gluteal engagement as you open up the front of the hips. Your psoas, the hip flexors. Do this again. Roll yourself up. Think of a laser between your knee, you know what? And you're pushing it forwards toward your knees. And then roll down one vertebra at a time. Really finding that articulation from your spine. One more time. This time hold your hips high. Lengthen your arms back behind you. Roll that towel back behind your head. And then slowly start to lower down your upper back, mid back, low back. Tailbone, reach it away from the towel. And then bring that towel right over the knees. Do this again. Lift your hips. Lengthen out of the shoulders. Relax the back of the neck. Stretch the arms. And then slowly start to stretch down from your low back. Let's do one more time. Very important to open up your spine before we go into deep abdominal curls. Reach those arms up and then slowly lower it down. Perfect. Land down for that moment. And then slowly start to pick up your knees one at a time into a tabletop. Squeeze your legs together. Take a big breath. As you exhale, lift yourself up. Curl your chest up. Reach that towel toward your knees and then lower it down. Relax the back of the neck. Really think of lifting out of your shoulders, keeping your hips down, keeping that low back nice and long into the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs. One more time, hold that last one here, and then you're going to pull your right leg in towards you, and you're going to reach the towel behind the right thigh as you dart your left leg out. And then slowly try not touching the towel, reset back to this position, arms back. Let's do this again on that right side. Exhale, lift yourself up, right knee in, stretch that right leg up to the sky, left leg long to the floor, and then pull yourself out. This is not easy. There's a lot of hip flexor connections here to really drive that thigh bone toward your chest. And then one more time, we're going to stay on that right side. Last one, curl yourself up, hold it there, reach that towel away from the right thigh as much as you can, and then pulse it toward your left toes. Try and stabilize your hips. Nice long shoulders, fingertips reaching to the front. Beautiful. Nice long breath. Last two and one. Pull it back. Give yourself a moment. Lay down. Move your hips a little side to side just to relax the tension in the neck. Let's do this again on the left side. Pick up your feet a little higher than your hips and then take a breath. Lift yourself up. This time your left knee comes in towards the sky. Right leg darts out. Pull it through and reset back. Gorgeous. We have three more here. Exhale, lift. Pull it through. Reach up. Slowly release. Very hard to not touch that band with that towel with your foot. You're going to try your best. Keeping that towel nice and taut, pulling it apart with your hands. Last one, you're going to hold it out. Send the towel away from the left thigh as you reach it toward your right toes in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Come back to center. Give yourself a moment. One more variation. We're going to try and bring both legs inside that loop. So take a breath. Curl yourself up. Bring the legs a little tuck. Stretch the legs up to the sky. Reach the towel away from the backs of the thighs. And then pull them in. Reach back. Let's do two more of these. Big exhalation. Lift up. Squeeze the sit bones together as you roll up. And release one more time. Hold yourself in that position. This time lower your legs. Press your thighs into the band. Press the towel into the thighs. And see if you can lower the legs a little bit and lift your chest a little higher, coming off of the shoulder blades. Just hold this here for 4. Lengthen out the arms. Scoop the belly. Pull the stomach in. Inner thighs connect for 2 and 1. Everything comes out. Release the arms back behind you. Take your feet a little wider. Windshield your knees from side to side. Just give yourself a little hip release. Gorgeous. We're going to take it up. You're going to walk your feet a little further away from your body. You can keep them a little apart together. Flex your feet. Take a big breath, and as you exhale, arms shoot up towards the sky. Think of lifting your head up, bringing your ears right by your bicep. Push into your hips, and then slowly start to peel yourself up. Now again, you're going to try and do this with the least amount of momentum, rolling the towel toward your toes, keeping it pushing out so the shoulders find a deep expansion. Relax the chest. And then the way you came up, very nice and controlled, you're going to do the same thing on the way down. Find your big exhalation as you lift yourself up. Pull, pull, pull. Everything towards the midline. Narrow the hip points. Keep that chest collapsed back as you really expand through the low mid back. Good. If you want to try for a little more challenge, maybe stretch your legs long, flex your feet, push yourself up. Try to keep your toes pressing towards your knees as your heels press into the floor, and lengthen that so your toes are rounded. Don't bring your legs with you as you come back down. Really opening up from the hips. One more time. Push, 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 lengthen out. Gorgeous. And then you're gonna stay halfway there. Roll yourself back. Can you elongate your legs? Can you pull the belly button bigger, deeper back? Can you stretch your arms overhead and just hold it? Think of your back super heavy, but your shoulders light. Lean the head back so it's right over your trunk, adding a little more core for 3, for 2, and 1, and then roll up and over as you wrap the towel over your toes, drop yourself in. Give yourself a little stretch. You can really pedal the knees or just keep both knees with a soft bend. Really important to kind of open up the backs of the legs, the low back a little bit. Gorgeous. We're going to stay here. We're going to open up your feet a little wider, so wider than hip width. Keep your heels on the ground, flex your toes. Take a big breath, and then you're going to pull your chest back as you reach the towel forwards towards your knees, and then you're going to lift yourself up and then expand towards the sky. From the flat back, really lift out of your sit bones. Pull yourself back. Keep pulling that towel out. So that towel is really going to help us find that connection of your shoulders and your core, your deep, deep, deep transverse abdominals. You are trying to keep your hips nice and steady on the mat. You're just kind of pulling the belly in and up, and then lifting out of the ribs, but not flaring them out. We got 2 more. Gorgeous. Inhale, lift. Last one, we're going to stay rounded. You're going to stay here. Relax the shoulders. Can you come a little deeper back? Can you move your arms and swing them to the right? And then take it up and over to the left. So we're going to try and keep your arms long. We are tugging the towel a little bit more with that top arm, and we're trying to keep that opposite sit bone down. So again, you can go a little deeper down, but if it's going to shift your hips, you're going to stay in a higher range of motion. Just swing your arms up and down. Let's go for 4 of these. Maybe take a little bigger swim, like you're making a figure 8 with your arms. Last 2. Last 1, and then release. Okay, we're going to change it up a little bit. You're going to take the towel, fold it to make a square for yourself. Take that square to the back of your mat, and then you're going to flip over, so we're going to come on your forearms. Once you have your elbows down, you're going to find your towel on your left arm. So you can start with one leg, elbows come right under the shoulders, hands together or apart, whatever feels good. Now you're going to stretch that towel back, and then you're going to do the opposite with your opposite leg. You're going to just touch it to the floor. Now open that towel leg a little wider than your mat, and then pull the knee towards your same shoulder. Stretch it back, pull it in towards the opposite leg, and a little wider. So we go for a little spider pull, and then a little squeeze of the inner thighs. You want to maintain your shoulders right over your elbows. You want to think of lifting your hips slightly, keeping your tailbone tucked. Push into the entire glider foot. So that toe that's on the towel, you really want to compress the foot down. So you're getting a big lift out of that thigh. Good. Last one here. Pull it in, out, and then hold it. Switch your legs. Take it to the back leg, and then open the chest. Think of opening the chest, rounding the tailbone. Take that leg over to the side, pull it to the elbow, back behind you, a little stretch out and in. So let's do this again. We go wide, we pull it to the side, stretch it back, pull it together. Good. We're going to stay here for 3 more. Exhale. Try and think of lifting yourself off of those elbows. Picking up the back, expanding the shoulders. Last one, pull it in, send it back, find the towel under both feet. That's going to be a moment. If you need a break, you take it. We're going to drop your knees. We're going to slowly come up to your palms. So where your elbows were, now your hands squeeze the upper arms towards one another. Push off the floor. Think of lengthening the back of the neck and pressing the back of the head towards the ceiling. Now pick your knees up. Keep them engaged, squeezing your thighs, lifting the kneecaps. Hold it there. Slowly bend your knees in half. Bringing them right under the hips and then slide them back. Nice and long. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tuck it in. And release. Try and round your tailbone a little more. Maybe rounding from that back, finding a little cat spine. 3 more. Good. Breathe. Nice and long. Ooh, that's a lot. 1 more. Hold your legs long behind you. Stay there. Hold it. Just find a plank. Think of pressing the ground more. Pulling the shoulders into your backs for 3, for 2, and 1. Drop your knees. Take them a little wide if you need to. Sink your hips back. Let the shoulders elongate. If it feels good, turn the palms up. Give yourself a moment. Take a deep breath. The forehead comes to the mat. Breathe into the entire back body. And then we're going to slowly rise up. We're going to take 1 more exercise. We're going to work a little into those obliques. So what I want you to do, I'm actually going to use the towels to wipe down because I'm sweaty. From this, we're going to take it to the side. So You're going to come down to your side. You're going to lay all the way down on your bottom arm. Capture the back of the head with your palms. We're going to take your legs a little bit in front of you, and then we're going to pick them a little off the floor. If you need some padding for that bottom hip, you may use it. And then I want you to start to kind of walk your legs in the air. Point your toes and split them, and then do the opposite. So using that top hand to really push the floor away, try and dial your front hips a little down. So you're really stacking your hips, and that bottom rib, the one on the floor, try and lift it an inch off the ground. So there's a little more engagement, like you're singeing the ribs and the hips towards one another and in. Good. Now last one, I want you to hold that little stagger, and then maybe bring your top leg over your right in front of you. Now slowly pull your knees in, and then roll yourself a little back onto your bottom hip, and then stretch out. Do this again. Give me a little roll up. Think of your knees to the opposite shoulder. Holding them back, and then stretch. 2 more. Last one. You can stay here if you want. You can pop onto your bottom elbow, and then reach that top arm to the sky. Give me a little crunch, and back. You go 4 of these. Last 3. 2 more. Final one, hold it in and just give me little pulses. Think of squeezing your thighs together, really bringing that top elbow to the knee to find contact. For 3, for 2, rounding, last one, and then we're gonna swing your legs to the other side. You're gonna find your way onto your side. So lay down on the side. Okay, we're on the entire opposite side. You're gonna stretch your legs long. You're gonna start to lift your hips, lift your legs, and bring your legs off the floor. Point your toes. Walk your legs in the air. Big stretch. Think of shooting out of those toes, lifting out of that bottom hip, setting the crown of the head all the way from the toes, and then dialing that top hip a little bit down. Pull the stomach in even deeper to the back. Good. And then on that last one, you're going to hold that bottom leg forward, and you're going to bring the top leg to match you. You're going to roll a little bit on that left back hip. You're going to pull the knees in, and then you're going to stretch them back. So we're just going a little more into that internal oblique, really finding that little rotation, that little twist. As again, I'm using my top hand, my fingertips to find support. 2 more. And out. Last one, we're going to take it a little more. We're going to stay here. We're going to pop up to your bottom elbow. Reach the top arm to the sky. Pull the knees in and out. So again, coming a little bit off that bottom side, reaching in and out, trying to find that contraction, squeezing it like a little ball, and expanding out. 2 more. In. Pull that last one in, little contractions in, hold it in. Really try and roll the hips a little bit back. So we're finding even the opposite knee to the elbow. Last 2, and 1, and release. Good job. We're gonna come to your back one more time just for a stretch, and we're gonna open up that towel. We're gonna hold it by the ends one more time. Stretch your arms and your legs away from one another. Really try and find your biggest, tallest self, and then take both legs over to the left side of the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left, and then tug on the towel with that left arm. Just giving yourself a little banana stretch, relaxing that right shoulder. Big breath here into that right side lung. And then open up your legs. Take your left ankle over your right, and then tug on the towel with that right arm a little more. Find a little side stretch over to the opposite side. Big side tilt for that left side. Find your way one more time back to center. Point your toes away with your fingertips, reach. And then slowly pull yourself in. This is it. We are definitely ready for wearing those little crop tops. So tell me how it felt, and I will see you for 7 minutes of booty and arms.